Welcome back, everybody. This is my in-depth guide to tower clearing. My team is, as you can see below, Emily, Beelzebub, and Mammon. So let's get into it. So first I'll do a quick run here just to kind of show you what it looks like. And then I'll go over the gear piece by piece, what their abilities of each gear is, the skills and how they interact with the gear, and the talents and how they interact as well that allow you to clear so fast. As you see at the top, only 3 seconds has actually passed with my timer. This is really because it's all just timer stops in between each wave. So now that you've seen how it looks like you're doing, let's get into it. Alright, let's see here. So the Ironsmith, don't need that. Alright, so for Emily, I am rocking the weapon here. It is the Cert's Whisper. It's got fire damage on both the white and the blue stats. It's got a total of 6 stats between the two. Make sure you try to go for that when you are hunting for it. The helmet here, I am running the other 3 pieces are her core set. This will increase her arson's total damage by 120%, and it deals all the damage to all enemies immediately. This is really important for triggering Beelzebub later. Her 3 pieces, every time it's triggered, the remaining cooldown of her other skills in the team is reduced. The Crimson Heart here, this is key. This gives everyone increased bar at the beginning of the fight. Basically allows them to attack almost instantaneously. Hardest piece of gear to get, you'll be hunting for 6 of them. Accumulation Ring, not very important for tower clearing, but is very important when you get into the gate clears, so we'll look more into that later. Beelzebub, I'm running the 4 set piece bonus of Beelzebub. Basically what her set does is that after each first, second, and third action, she will use a different one of her skills, even if they are not set in her skill bar. So Blade Edge, Gale Blade, and X-Strike. So I have points into multiple skills, even though I cannot put them all into my bar at the same time. And this set piece is the absolute reason why. It allows her to do crazy damage with them. Crimson Lotus Heart is definitely a guarantee on her as well. And Acclamation Ring as well. They work really well. Kind of basic stuff here. Mammon, I'm running her 4 set bonus. Her 4 set bonus basically just lets her trick ball to increase the multiplier of her primary attack, but it also allows trick ball to have additional beams emitted, and every time you release it, you get 20% of the highest superimposed layer up to 100 of the beam emitted plus 2. The main thing here is how many beams you can emit and how quickly. And you'll see that with some of her skills when we go over them later. The more enemies she hits, thanks to the Mithril Ring here, it reduces the target's resistance. So the more beams, the more resistance reduction that she gets. Alright, so for talents, Beelzebub, every point of accuracy increases her damage. I have 170 plus accuracy, so it's an extra 70% physical damage. When the battle starts, you lock out part of your hit points, and it just gives you free attack power. Damage received in a single hit cannot be more than 12%, so if your shield somehow does break, you aren't going to instantly die. When you perform a normal attack, you have massive damage. After the damage calculation, you'll instantly kill anything under 18% health. And when dealing damage to enemies, the accuracy is greater than theirs, you deal bonus damage. For her, get the agility, the strength, and the breadth. The main thing for her is with the agility is the speed. Movement speed is king. You'll see that throughout a lot of this video. And she has insanely high crit, 100% crit with 530% crit damage. So Feng Shen gives the whole team speed, movement speed. And then while this is in your action bar, you just constantly do damage non-stop. It's a good way to just trigger damage effects. Those are the ones that are equipped. However, thanks to Windfire, when the other character in the team, Emily, does fire damage, I have a chance to activate Blade Edge. So because of that, Blade Edge gets skill points. So even though it's not up my bar there, I'm putting the skill points into Rend and Repeated as well, so that way Blade Edge goes off numerous times, does a lot of damage. Gale Blade, that's the one that does it. You only need 1 point, but as long as you have Gale Blade, you gain an additional 70% crit damage. X-Strike. Now the reason I have points in this, again, is her set bonus. You get bonuses for having the set to trigger the attack, and then the stronger points make it a better attack. See, like I said, every third action you get to use them. Now for Emily, use the Flames Rises for increased total damage of Ignite. Heating allows your Ignite to stack up to 999, and your Detonate can increase damage. You don't care about the damage so much as the stacks of Ignite. When Ember hits, there's a 40% chance to do extra Embers. You want as many Embers to hit as possible to trigger Beelzebub. When you cast Fireball, there's a 50% chance of triggering it. More Fireballs, more hits, more Beelzebub. Every time the target carries a layer of Ignite, all resistance will be reduced. That's why you want the higher stack. When Fireball hits, there's a 40% chance to summon another Ember. More Embers, more Beelzebub. Alright, so all her points are into Embers to get as many Fireballs as possible. Same with the normal Fireball. The more shots, the more triggers of Beelzebub. Don't really care about Chard. And Heat Up, you get in there just to get the magic recovery to keep your mana at full. Alright, Spark. When you use a skill or attack, you have a 25% chance to do Spark. Gives you movement speed. You don't really care about the Pyromania. You're just taking it to kind of move on to the next one here, which increases the chance of getting sparks. Pyromania does do a little bit of the Arson, and when Arson triggers, it hits all enemies, which allows more triggers of Beelzebub. Ignite. This is what you want for stacking your Ignite stacks. You don't really care about the damage, but you want it to hit all 4 nearby enemy units. That's going to be key. Don't really care about the damage. Just trying to get down the line here to get Combustible, where you increase the probability of igniting. So the whole point, build stacks, detonate, hit everyone. Meteor, you summon a bunch of hits to trigger Beelzebub, but at the same time you take the ability just down here below it, Starfall, to have a chance to summon when you use Meteor. Just in case anything does live, they're not going to get a chance to attack you back. So that's the core of the damage of the build. For her, you want to go Speed and Evasion, all elements and Overpowered, and Fire Damage Speed. Again, the speed on these two are the key. You want to attack as quickly as possible, as fast as possible, and as many times as possible, just to trigger Beelzebub. Alright, Mammon. She's your main survivability. Her main ability now has increased take effects of learning multiplier. All allies have a 20% chance to be immune to incoming damage. Just a bunch of survivability. And when you shield yourself, your other allies also get a shield equivalent to half of that. Important for making sure your allies don't die. When characters have shields, they take less damage. When hitting a target, there's a chance to get gems, blah blah blah, you don't care about that. Main thing here is you get bonus attack power based on how many gems you have. And when a shield is present, action speed plus 20%. Don't care about the damage add rate. It's all about that movement speed. take the accuracy and effect durations, so shields last longer. She's more accurate with the trigger balls to reduce the resistances. Give her a nice big hit pool. And then some all element damage and overpower to ignore the resistances. For her skills, main thing, judgment. Probability of your skills to trigger is increased by 15%. What you need for trick ball. Trick ball, the whole point of trick ball is just to launch as many of them as quickly as possible to trigger her set bonuses to reduce the enemy's resistances and keep everyone's movement speeds up with her talents. So long as you're carrying trick ball on your top bar there and carried skills, you get movement speed for all your teammates. Speed is king. And when Beelzebub will attack, you have a chance to shoot trick balls. Light shield, basic, just applying a shield to everyone. Reflection, you don't really care about. You just want to be able to, as long as they have a shield, they can't receive more damage than the shield with excess without having it being reduced down by 90%. Holy Light, just somewhere to put your points. Guilt improvement, just another way to use up the rest of your points. The main thing here is the light shield and the compensation. And trick ball. Again, all elements overpower, effect duration, accuracy, and hit points. For her, she does have the mithril ring to reduce, like I said, per trick ball shot, has a chance to reduce the resistances. Beelzebub will hit at full power with that trick ball. That's the synergy with the mithril ring on her instead of the acclamation ring. And her set pieces given all the bonus beams to allow it to hit many, many more. Alright, so now we'll go back into the tower. I'll do one more run here. This time I'll kind of slow it down. Now there is no real animation for Beelzebub's attack, but you can see as all the fire damage hits, Beelzebub's damage is spiking up. You know, doing almost 1 trillion damage immediately. And you can see the timer has only gone down by a second, despite the fact that, you know, it takes much longer for it to get through because time doesn't pass when the enemies are all dead and you're going to the next layer. And as you look at some of our buffs, you'll see a bunch of movement speed buffs, damage reductions, movement speed, crit strike, mana recovery. Alright, so that's the basic of the build itself. Like I said, that amulet is going to be key, and this is where you get it. I usually just spam this until I see it pop up. If you don't have an auto clicker, it's slow as heck like this. I personally use an auto clicker to help, you know, make it go a little bit faster, because this just takes forever. So here I'll kind of show you what it looks like when you use the auto clicker. Mithril ring, if I needed that, I would have clicked it. Not the amulets. Not an amulet. Not an amulet. Not a ring I need. Now if I was after the weapon, I'll cancel. I'll go up here. It's 6 pieces. You buy it. Go over to your stash. I have too many weapons right now. I need to sell everything. Find the one that's got 6 stats on it. Lock it, and then you can reforge it later. Then you can go back to just refreshing with the auto clicker. Another mithril ring. That one only had 4 stats. I don't buy it. Once you get the hang of what you're looking for, like this, an acclamation ring, you know you need it. Only 4 stats. It's no good. Back to refreshing. Not an amulet or a ring I need. The other way you can get amulets... Oh, here, let me quick sell. And then I'll go to my amulet tab. So using the auto clicker, you could just sit here. I haven't found a hard cap to inventory space yet, but I haven't let it just run like forever for hours. But you could just let it sit here AFK for quite some time. There seems to be an abundance of inventory room. I haven't hit that hard cap yet. And come back and just see if you've gotten any of the amulet that you need. I usually don't do this method just because, one, I don't see a lot of, you know, mythics popping up. Two, I feel like having the variety is a much better way of trying to get what you're looking for overall. But it's an option, depending on what you're looking for. As you see, I have, you know, several trillion gold, so you could sit here all day and you wouldn't run out. Once you get to the higher levels of the tower, it becomes, you know, a non-issue. Here, I'll try to speed this up. I'm looking specifically only for the amulet. The amulets are always in the same two spots, the top right corner there, and the bottom left corner are the two amulet slots. So if you see it come up with a mythic ping like that, then you know, oh, hey look, there's a mithril ring. I buy the ring, I lock it up, I'll have it for my build. But if you see the thing, there you go. I do have a video on how to use the alchemy station to get the stats you want, and the ironsmith as well. And then run the sigils here. You'll see that it's only 1 billion gold, but when you have the stats rolled the way I do with all the bonus gems, oh here, let me turn this to 3x. With all the bonus gems, you will get 20 billion, I think. 19 to 20 billion, I think. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, 20.8 billion. Almost 21 billion gold. Alright, so one of the main purposes for running the tower is to get the chaos orbs for the gate. As you can see, when you do the tower, you get the chaos souls. That is what you use to do the chaos gate, and I will drop a video guide later on my chaos gate build, probably in the day or two. Like I said, if you have any questions, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.